If I'm to stay here until my research is complete, I'd better learn to hide my true nature from the mortals. But what about my thirst for blood?
He asked me to collect you, Dr. Reed. Hurry up.
Yes, Nurse Crane? How can I help you?
I'm so sorry. I know Dr. Swan's...
A crisis, you say?
Our supply of antiseptics is nearly depleted.
Nurse, this room is off limits, and I'd prefer to keep it that way. Make sure the rest of the staff are so informed.
Of course, Doctor. And what about the antiseptics? Or do I inform the staff that you're too busy?
I may have a solution. In France, during the war, drugs shortage was a daily problem, and we had to use our wits to overcome the shortages.
However do you mean?
If combined correctly, certain household chemical products can be used in a pinch instead. Now, where's the hospital storeroom?
The storeroom? Fat chance. This is the Pembroke, and space is luxury we don't have. Everything used to be stored in the old morgue.
Perhaps I should look there first. Where is this morgue?
It's the large building behind the hospital. You'll need to go in the back door because it's been sealed off for sanitary reasons. Take this key. It opens a small back entrance at the end of a narrow street.
The abandoned morgue behind the hospital. A small door. Good evening.
So it is true.
Do we know?
Actually,
Doctor,
he was also very confident.
you're exhausting yourself, Corcoran. Maybe you should think about preserving your strength.
No, we must keep on healing all those poor souls.
Nurse Brannigan is worried about...
She should not have told you that. I will have a...
You don't have to blame her for her honesty.
I'm not that kind of...
What it is, it's more than enough. In any case, the person...
Don't be...
What can you tell me?
Summer...
Tell me more about...
Nurse Brannigan is a pearl.
You really seem to admire her skills.
I'll go even further.
Any...
Don't get me wrong.
Goodbye, Doc. Good evening, Mr. Cox.
Dr. Reed. Still working at night, I see. I like that. People who don't sleep at night always seem more...
Do you ever think about that poor fellow I saw you push in the water?
The wound he gave me will make sure I don't...
What did he want? Revenge?
I recently had to kill his brother.
Only the strongest survive, then?
I'm the toughest bastard you'll ever meet, Doctor.
That man was determined to murder you.
What a surprise. The first time I met...
How is your...
This is a shitty place with shitty staff.
What's wrong?
Come on, Dr. Reed.
But you're alive thanks to the effort.
What are you expecting, a medal? I thought...
What's wrong?
That bastard you said...
I see.
The nurses aren't too ugly. Especially that foxy one, Nurse Crane.
can you tell me about your marriage, Clay?
Marriage is the sweetest cage, they say.
You mean your wife keeps you on your...
No, I mean, we both have.
How long do you think you can escape the law, Clay?
I know this city like the back of my hand.
We can't escape the consequences of our actions. The path.
I ain't afraid of death.
And who are...
I'm the leader of the Wet Boot Boys. One day, I'll leave this shitty place.
Am I right to assume your wife's letter pissed you?
I was so mad, I threw away the knife she got me with.
Your wife gave you a knife?
That knife has always been my lucky charm.
A lucky charm?
We all have a...
Do you want it?
I don't need it here, but...
A grateful clay cop?
I can give you directions, but I'd be surprised if you managed to...
I'll leave you. Good evening.
Good evening.
Goodbye. Good evening.
Good evening,
Why do you have such a mediocre reputation among your colleagues, Milton?
Fuck them. Nobody knows.
I know.
Obviously.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Goodbye, Milton. Thelma Howcroft said she was being watched by vampire hunters. Good evening. I'm Dr. Reed, a colleague.
Not anymore.
What do you mean?
No.
Are you a...
Why should...
How did you...
After I left the army,
Sir... Do you work here?
yes, very easy work.
Why close the hospital's main...
It was for sanitary reasons. After the
Why do you...
because the...
Have we met?
I don't think so.
When we first talked, you said you were glad to meet me.
Funny story, sir. Your sister came here a few nights ago. You were missing, and she was looking for your body. She...
Since you're not afraid of dying, do you believe in life after death, Rakesh?
No. I believe we must do all the good...
Do you think you would enjoy...
I don't...
Do you really...
As I said...
Quite
Yes.
So you...
No, I am not.
You're a what?
No, doctor.
A pawnbroker?
Yes, sir.
Who comes here to...
I'm very cautious. With the...
Please show me.
Of course. Tomorrow, more bodies will arrive and then sadly depart.
It's
I'm
locked.
managing a train terminal.
Scowl voices in the garden. I should investigate. If they were to find somebody.
Run.
So, Mr. Hooks and Nurse Hawkins are an item. Those two have hidden their affections well. Good evening, Milk.
Good evening, Doctor.
Tell me why you're extorting money from some of the patients here.
If a patient wants a bed, he'll have to pay me a little...
Where did you get the idea?
Funny you should ask.
I have some good news, Milton.
What? The epidemic's over?
I retrieved your wallet. with all the money and a certain picture.
Well, yeah, Pippa Hawkins is my girl. So what?
Not at all, Milton.
Good. Please, take this money anyway.
What's going on?
Pippa's tired. Tired of all this shit.
You do realize you could both get fired.
Come on, Dr. Reed. Do you know how many rules are broken in...
During the...
Maybe you're right. But we support...
Admit it. Nurse Hawkins is...
Of course she is. How else could I tell which bed is free?
Have you no
Don't you see the city is crumbling down?
Goodbye, Milton.
Yes, Doctor?
Why then do you always work the night?
At the Pembroke, we're always...
Lack of sleep and the...
London's trenches stop...
Your dedication...
We staff get our sleep when we can.
Exactly how...
It really...
Please...
It's the
That's all for now, Nurse Crane. Thank you. Good evening, Nurse Hawkins.
Good evening.
Milton cheats patients out of...
Yes, I am.
Is this your definition of being useful?
No. It is my...
Whose idea was it?
What difference does it make?
Answer my...
It was my idea first. Even though...
Why do you...
Why not? Most...
You put a price on hope. This...
Report me then, Doc...
Pepper,
Yes?
I have no...
The rules...
Is he...
Hey.
Goodbye.
Też kilka takich gier, nie wiem. Ja wszystko w nocy dzieje, a ja nie lubię nocy grać. Boję się, że zaraz mi coś naryj.
suspicion. Must be the same strain. This sickness moves faster than influenza. This key will surely grant me access to the basement.
Ty jak on tu przyszedł? Kurwa. On się blokuje, ja nie mówię.
I cannot enter. Balls of Mars, fortifiers. As popular as they are ineffective. But they do contain iron tartrate, and that might prove itself useful.
F5, jakiś szybki zapis, coś. O kurwa. O kurwa. Nie, ja w to nie gram. Ja już się zestrałem. Siema. Koledzy moi.
These skulls feed from corpses and the husks of animals. They're not after blood.
Kurwa jebana. Kurwa, dwóch tu jest. Ała. Chodź. Jebany mi się ty. Ty kurwa. Chodź tu. Kolega. Dawaj. Co?
It's locked, all right. Mr. Connor's injuries don't match the report. I'd better look into this. The chest was originally opened to perform the operation. The sutures are clean. Multiple abrasions and scarring on the arms and legs. Old and distinctive injuries of a sailor or a fisherman. Traces of a pinkish foam at the corner of the lips. Some sort of drug overdose, perhaps? A puncture over the left lung, possibly a chest tube insertion. Not the cleanest work, but I think it was successful. Signs of internal bleeding. So, Dr. Tippett's anesthetics were incorrectly dosed, causing the patient's death. And then he tried to operate on him again. Tippett has made an egregious error.
A wampiry nie zostawiają odbite, to temu ten gościu zostawia odbite. Co Sesik? Odpowiesz mi na to pytanie?
Co jest?
Czemu ten gościu zostawia odbite, skoro wampiry nie zostawiają odbicia wszyscy?
Ja nie widziałem tam żadnego odbicia.
W szybie się tak kurwa odbiły. O kurwa, znowu boss? Jakiś ryczący? Który też znika jak ja?
Czemu nie ma bossów tak szybko, kurde?
No jak nie kurwa, jak mam? John Doe. Kurwa jak John Sparrow. Kurwa. Ty kurwa, on ma... Stacie. Nie mam naboi, fajnie. On ma cień i siebie, kurwa, ty. O chuj, tu chodź. I dwóch mnie bije. Nie mam życia. Muszę się napić ciebie, kurwa. A nie, to jest. Dobra, zabiłem.
These scowls can be so ferocious. I'm not sure I can defeat them without becoming stronger. To drink blood is so tempting.
Można całą grę nie pić krwi innych ludzi? Bo oni mi tu każą ciągle pić. Nie. Człowiek. Piłeś innych ludzi krew? Ale... A, jak nie wypiję krwi jakiegoś człowieka, to mi nie jest życie. Jak? No kurwa, gościu. Wypierdalaj.
Co mówiłeś, Malu, że co?
Muszę pić krew innych ludzi? Tych dobrych?
Nie musisz pić, jak nie chcesz.
Ale życie mi zabiera. Tak? Ja nie chcę pić.
Później sobie potiony przecież będziesz mógł robić.
Co życia już nie mam. Oni się ciągle respią, co to za zjebana gra jest?